Yes, Casanovians. Okay, I want to talk to you in this live stream about a train of thought which has influenced my thinking for a little while, and I wanted to expostulate this onto a live stream because I think it's an important topic. So, a mantra that I've always lived by since starting my cold approach journey was learn day game, but don't become a day gamer. Yeah, learn day game, don't become a day gamer. So, the idea that I want to share is an idea that I want I want to install a way of thinking into you, which is going to allow your conversations with women to reach more of a supernatural level, right? Making seduction simple and make attracting beautiful women feel as effortless as drinking water. Yeah, that's the goal of this live stream. So learn day game, don't become a day gamer. So like in the manosphere, there's all these different pills, yeah, like the blue pill, the red pill, the black pill, the rainbow pill. Well, I want to use a similar example to explain the thing that's in my mind because I think this is going to be the easiest way for you to digest this. All right. So, if you're following this content, if you are aware of day game and if you're actively going out there to day game, then you've taken the day game pill, right? I've taken it, you've taken it, maybe your wings have taken it. Okay. All this means is that you are now day game aware, right? You're aware of day game. You're probably using the terminology. You're probably typing those words into YouTube, like best way to open, how to transition after the open, best way to number close, whatever. Like you understand, like you're using that terminology. You're aware of this space. Now, here is the dangerous consequence of taking the day game pill and being aware of day game. The dangerous consequence is your actions are your actions become influenced by a predetermined paradigm. And what I mean by that is if you're not conscious of your own approach to the game, then it's super easy of you to sound like every other guy, right? The systematic, formulate, robotic approach. Oh, hi, I just saw you and I just wanted to say you look really good. Where are you from? Oh, you're from Madagascar. When I think about Madagascar, I think about you holding like it feels this very theatrical, performative, scripted approach to conversations, right? Now, this is okay, right? This is okay in the early days. It's like learning to ride a bike at the start. It is helpful to have the stabilizers on because this allows us to develop the confidence in our own capabilities. And this is why I recommend to any guy who is starting his cold approach career to have a 90-day obsession period where for a full 90 days you give yourself permission to swallow the day game pill, right? Give yourself permission to binge watch the videos, to listen to the podcast, to read the blogs, to be going out, going hard with it, yeah, doing 30 approaches a week, getting your reps in, doing the whole I just saw you and I just wanted to say you look really good. Like that's absolutely fine in the early days because you need to get the reps in, right? You need to get your batting practice. I say to guys, treat the first 100, yeah, the first 100 call approaches that you do, just treat them as batting practice, right? They don't count, they don't really matter. It's just to get skin in the game. Yeah, maybe you'll strike out every time, or maybe you'll get lucky and you'll hit a few home runs. But these first 100 call approaches, they're just for you to get skin in the game. And you need that at the start, in my opinion. Like, you need that exposure, that rite of passage, that baptism of fire to get you locked into the game. But a mindset that has helped me on my journey is, let's say you've gone through that beginner phase, yeah. So now you know how to approach and carry a conversation. You're closing girls, maybe you're starting to get dates and have good experiences after those first 100. A mindset that I want you to start adopting is imagine a guy who has all of the skill associated with Daygame, but knows nothing about the world of Daygame. Imagine how that guy interacts with the world. So imagine a guy who lives in Brazil or in a Latin America country where organic face-to-face interaction is normal, right? It's normal. It's a way of life. Yeah. Like this is the thing, making seduction something we are rather than something that we do. But imagine a guy on the beaches of Rio. He's been brought up in Rio. His environment dictates his actions, and he's used to just striking up conversations with people. So he has the skill that we're trying to acquire, but he does it naturally, right? And we can learn from this supernatural approach to seduction, because when he leaves the house, he's not thinking to himself, right, I need to do 10 approaches today. I'm just going to focus on the open. I'm just going to focus on those first 3 seconds. I'm going to practice approaching with conviction. Like if he approaches a group of 3 girls on Copacabana Beach, he's not in his head thinking, right, what's the best open here? Maybe I should open situationally. Oh, there's a girl with pink hair. Maybe I can stack on that. Maybe I can liken her to a flamingo. He's just in the moment, right? He's in that flow. He's not thinking about opening or closing or building investment. He's not in his head thinking, wait, has she hooked yet? Oh, this is a difficult 3 set. Like all of this jargon, all of this terminology, like this is the dangerous consequence of getting too sucked into the world of Daygame, right? And I would view this as a sense of transcendent mastery. I think this is the process that we're on, right? I've made the point before. Master cold approach so you can forget about women, right? Master cold approach so you can forget about women, because when you've mastered this skill set of cold approach, you develop abundance, right? Abundance mindset. Yeah, abundance isn't always having, it's knowing you can have. So when you do get into a relationship with that gobsmackingly gorgeous girl, you're prepared at any moment for that relationship to turn to dust, and you're not needy in that relationship anymore, because you know if this relationship ends, you've got the skill to be able to cultivate new and most likely better relationships, right? But this sense of transcendent mastery of learning it all and then forgetting it all, I think it's riding the bike with the stabilizers on and then realizing, I could probably ride a unicycle now. Like I'll maybe learn how to ride a bike and then taking the stabilizers off and being like, yeah, let's go drive a jet. You know what I mean? It's just like this transcendent mastery, amuse mastery, like learning it all and forgetting it all. Like that quote from Picasso comes to mind right now, where he said, it took me 4 years to paint like Raphael, but a lifetime to paint like a child. So this is a guy who is at the pinnacle of his craft, who understands the importance of this transcendent mastery. Like Picasso was somebody who could make the impossible appear effortless, but returning to this point of origin, this childlike awe for art and creation and life. Like this is what I'm saying here. Like the dangerous consequence of learning Daygame is you become a daygamer, right? And the conversations you have with women, they feel artificial, they feel systematic. Yeah, if you're someone who's been in the game for a long time, you're probably suffering this affliction of sounding like a pickup robot. Yeah, you're never going to make powerful connections with beautiful people if you stay stuck in this paradigm, which is why I'm doing my best to articulate this idea. It's okay. Yeah, like I've taken the day game pill. I'm aware of this world, but this is the process. I think after you've gone through that 90-day obsession period where you now know you can approach, you can converse, you can close, you can get dates, you can have relationships from cold approach. I think the next level is that transcendent mastery. Yeah, learning it all, forgetting it all. This notion of unlearning, yeah, unlearning everything that you think you know, because all we know is that we know nothing. Yeah, I think was that Socrates. All I know is I know nothing. And when we're on this journey, I think it is so easy to get sucked into, like, why like for example, like me thinking now, like why are we even saying things like I just wanted to say? Like even in my own conversations and something that I'm teaching to my guys more and more is removing the unnecessary. Like, let's just go over to a girl, say excuse me, and then give her an all in compliment. So, I'm going to be releasing a video. So, it's the third video in the series of videos that I've made with Mark. Yeah. So, hopefully, you boys have been enjoying the videos that I've been making with Mark. Shout out to Mark as well. Like, bro, your transformation has been crazy. Like, even just like aesthetically, you know what I mean? Like you look like a completely different person now. The way you're carrying yourself, the way you move, evidence has got the loudest voice. Like you can actually see yourself back on the camera and it's crazy. But something that I teach to Mark in an upcoming video is going all in with your compliment. So if I'm that guy who has all of the skills associated with Daygame, but I know nothing about Daygame, I'm not doing all this nonsense, right? I'm not doing the whole like, hi, I just saw you walking down the street and I just wanted to say, no, I see the girl. I'm like, excuse me, it's like capturing her attention in as simple a way as possible. And just declaring my desire for that girl in a non-needy way. Yo, excuse me. Or like see like just seeing a girl who just like walks past you like, oi, you look unreal. Like you look amazing. You look fucking incredible. Like where you going? What you doing? And then maybe I'll just close there and then, right? Like there's no rules to any of this stuff. And I think what I'm doing with this content is I'm teaching you how to teach yourself and being able to rip up the rule book. Yeah. Like having a critical mind and thinking, wait, why am I saying this thing? Like, why am I doing this? Like, why do I need to say, I just wanted to say? Why do I need to have a 5 minute conversation? If I blow that girl away in the first 10 seconds, then why don't I just take her on a date there and then? Why don't I just take her number? Like, why do I need to do all this weird stuff like build investment or make sure she's hooked? Like, this way of thinking, it castrates you of your confidence because you're too much in your head and you're not enough in the moment. But I have empathy for you. Like, really, I'm making these videos to a former version of me. Like, I remember when I first learned this stuff, I was in my apartment in Leeds and I was learning from the Natural Lifestyles and Tom Torero. So I started watching Torero's stuff, RIP. I started watching Torero's stuff about 3 months into my journey. And it was a whole London day game model, like open vibe stack. And I remember watching, like studying Torero's material meticulously, making notes in my apartment in Leeds, like being like, right, Torero does this, like really being systematic with it because ultimately I was scared. Like ultimately I was just scared of not receiving the validation from the feminine. And I wanted to have this conversational ammunition. So I knew that I could go into that conversation and have a guarantee of some sort. Like if I run out of things to say, then I would have some things pre-prepared. Like I could bring in the fact that, oh, I'm a magician. I'd even like rehearse these they were basically canned lines. Like I knew that I would do like this like cold read on a girl and be like, "Oh, you look like someone who studies fashion." I'm thinking Japanese furniture design. Like I can imagine you designing a chandelier for King Louis the 14th back in Tokyo. Like things that didn't really make any sense, but I wanted to have things. I wanted to have things in my locker that I could bring into my conversations. And the reason I was doing this was simply because I was insecure. Like, I was insecure in my own abilities. I felt I needed that crux to get me through the conversation. And hey, look, it worked. Yeah, it worked. Like I got my first dates from cold approach 3 weeks after I did my first approach. So 3 weeks after getting started with cold approach, I had my first date and then I had the next date the day after. So within 3 weeks of being meticulous, of going all in, of really just devoting myself to this art form of organic face-to-face conversation, like I got the return on investment. So like what I'm trying to do here is not shame you for whatever you're doing right now, because we're all operating on our own timelines and everyone starts off in a different place. Like you might have like crazy bad social anxiety right now, and for you do need a few things like in your locker that you can just bring in, right? You might need to to follow like a system to start off with. And when I was learning this, I think it was important for me to have things in my locker, but just knowing that, okay, you're aware of this skill set. Like, I don't want you to listen to this live stream thinking that you need to be at supernatural level seduction right now. Again, we're all operating on our own timeline, but I simply want to make you aware of this consequence of if you're if you're doing the same thing, rinse and repeat for too long, especially if you're living in a city like London, where as soon as you say something like "I just saw you," if a girl has been cold approached in London before, she almost knows what you're gonna say before you've said anything else. It's like, "Oh, not this again." And look, I'm someone who believes in the notion of hypergamy, and it's a case of as long as you present yourself as her best option, then it doesn't really matter what you say. Yeah, and this is why it's essential that you are putting in the reps to become the most fuckable version of yourself. So therefore, when you approach that girl, you've already done a lot of the work beforehand. Yeah, like you can get all this stuff. It's all available in my free courses. Conversation Killer, Most Fuckable Man course. Yeah, Conversation Killer gives you everything you need to get started and get results from cold approach. It's a course that I wish had been available to me when I first started. And you can get my Most Fuckable Man course, so how I went from looking like a turnip, dressing like a moron, and being abysmal in most areas of life to, more fuckable. So those courses are free for you right now, forever. You can find the links below. After this live stream has finished, you'll be able to access those courses for free. But I hope you understand what I'm saying here. Like, my goal for all of us is to hit that supernatural level of seduction where attracting beautiful women feels as effortless as drinking water. We've all taken the day game pill. We're all aware of this world, and that's absolutely fine. But learn day game. Don't become a day gamer. Does that make sense? So, yeah, I want you boys to go out there and no matter where you're starting, like if you are completely new to cold approach, or maybe you've been in the game for a while and you feel as though something's missing, like you're not creating those deep connections with the women that you're speaking with. You leave your conversations thinking like, oh, I didn't really present my best self there. I felt as though I was hiding behind this mask or this wall of bullshit. Then it may well be time for you to let go. Yeah, let go of the formula, let go of the roboticized script, and give yourself permission to approach this from a different angle, which is unapologetic authenticity. Yeah, you don't need any more lines or techniques or mindsets. Really, this is that process of unlearning, yeah, stripping back those layers of social conditioning, stripping back those layers of theory and learning and connecting with your most authentic self because we already know, yeah, we've already got it all inside of us. Yeah, and this is why unlearning is so important. Almost view it as a cultured caveman. Yeah, the cultured caveman sees girl, goes for girl, me like women. This is nice, right? You're not in your head thinking, oh, is she hooked? Oh, am I building enough investment? Oh, am I attractive enough? It's no, see girl, speak to girl. And I think, when guys are often like for me, my goal with this was I wanted to integrate cold approach into my lifestyle. Yeah, I didn't want to be parading around the pavements for 8 hours a day, going to the fucking mall, just running the same shit on every girl, hoping that one of them's gonna like me. I wanted to integrate it into my life so it became something I was rather than something that I did. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier, like attempting to replicate that guy who's got this skill set naturally, right? Like, I would assume that most people following this content, you wouldn't consider yourself as a natural, right? Like, game, the art of seduction, influence, persuasion, it probably doesn't come naturally to you. So you're self-taught, yeah. You had to learn this stuff for yourself brick by brick. And I get that. I'm exactly the same. Um, but a really useful, we'll call it a hack, like a really useful hack to integrate cold approach into your busy life is before you leave the house, you want to set the intention that when you see someone interesting, you will speak to that person. What we're doing here is we're lubricating the mind. Yeah, we're lubing up the mind and preparing it for action. If you're just rolling out of bed, going to get a pint of milk, and then you see an absolute worldie go past you, your mind hasn't been lubricated for this opportunity, so you probably won't approach it. However, if before you leave the house you've set the intention, like verbally express this to yourself, or if you've got a friend or a network of guys, you can send those guys a voice message and be like, right, boys, when I leave the house, if I see somebody who I find interesting, I will go over and speak with that person. It's such a subtle shift, but what I found to be true is if I don't set an intention, I'm more likely to pussy out. I'm more likely to bail on myself because I've not yet created that verbal contract. So this like making like bringing this to its natural climax here. Learn day game, don't become a day gamer. Ask yourself, if what would someone who had all of the skill associated with day game but knew nothing about day game, how would that person interact with the world? And then acting as if you are the greatest seducer on the planet, acting as if the art of face-to-face communication with beautiful women, acting as if that does come effortlessly to you. Even saying things to yourself like, approaching girls is easy, I can do that, and then going and actually doing it. Yeah, making your actions match your ambitions, making your actions match your affirmations. And then before you leave the house, just setting that intention. Yeah, that's super simple. It takes 10 seconds. Just saying to yourself, if when I leave the house, I see somebody who I find interesting, then I will go over and have a conversation with that person. Yeah, lubricating the mind, ready for action. And yeah, this like I hope you understand this. Yeah, this is the dangerous consequence of learning day game is you can become sucked into that pickup paradigm. I don't want that for any of us, right? I don't view myself as a day gamer. I don't view myself as a PUA. I don't view myself as a day game coach. Like all of these labels make me feel ill. And look, I use the terminology, right? I use the terminology because you have to understand as well, boys, that I'm playing the YouTube game here, right? Like I'm using the terminology to attract my people, to attract the guys who are looking for this content. But then when they stumble across my stuff and they spend some time inside my house, they realize, oh, the furniture is actually a lot different in here. So you have to understand that, I'm playing the YouTube game as well. But really, I view myself as a freedom from bullshit practitioner, right? I'm not a day gamer. I'm not a PUA. I think anyone who labels themselves as a PUA is, I think that's harsh, but I think you're lost. I think you're you're in a place where you think that it's cool in some way to be a pickup app. But you know what? It's your life. Yeah, like who am I to fucking say that's weird or whatever? Like you might be watching this being like, this guy's arrogant, this guy's obnoxious, this guy's a prick. Like you're entitled to that opinion. So yeah, it's not fair of me to label people as like weird, but I'll do it anyway. Yeah, I just think the whole like PUA thing, I think that's dead. Just like, categorizing ourselves as day gamers. Like we're just human beings, right? We're human beings who want to connect with other human beings. Like that's what it's about, right? Just like, being able to find our people, connect, receive love, right? Like this is what we want. Like when we strip it all back, that's what we want, right? We want to receive love. We want to find that wife-worthy woman who we can actually do life with. Like we want to be loved and accepted and have incredible experiences and incredible people, relationships and community. For me, the most important aspects of life. You could have all the money in the world, but if no one likes you and no one loves you, it's a lonely place to be. So yeah, relationships and community. I think that's what I'm providing people, right? Relationships and community. Like I want to help you find that wife-worthy woman. I also want to give you that community of guys as well, like that community of like-minded guys who you can connect with, like finding your people. I had a really lovely message in the Entourage by one of our members, David. David just dropped a message into the Entourage before I went out to get a cup of tea with my mum, and it really hit deep for me. He just posted a message in the group and he said, hey, look, I know that this is said. I know that this has been said before, but I just wanted to say what a privilege it is to be in this group. Like what a privilege it is to be a member of the Entourage and be able to connect every single day with like-minded guys. And I was like, David, man, you probably don't know how much that actually means to me. Like the way that I described it was you could have decided in that moment to do anything with your day, right? You could have decided to scroll on TikTok, you could have decided to go out for a walk, you could have decided to send a message to 100 different people, but in that moment you decided to celebrate me, celebrate the group with that small paragraph, right? That's all it took. And in that moment, like that was just confirmation for me that I'm on the right path, I'm doing the right things, and I'm inspiring the right people. Just things like that, just small gestures like that, they go so further than people realize. Like, dude, I could make all the money in the world, but if I get to the top of that tower and no one likes me and no one loves me, then I'm like, what's it all for? Like that sense of masculine connection and female adoration, like I don't know, it just hits deep. But yeah, relationships and community. I'm helping you, I'm teaching you how to teach yourself. I'm giving you permission to be the full-size version of you. Don't allow admiration to become imitation. Learn from everybody, take bits off everybody, be a critical thinker, be like, that's bullshit. I disagree with that, but that point he made there, I like that. So my legs just seizing up a bit. But yeah, I hope that this live stream has been useful. This is really helping you to elevate and evolve to that next level. Like I say, all my courses, they're completely free. So you can get all of that free, luscious video material below. And if you resonate with me, you like what I do, and you want to connect with me on a personal level, then you can do that. I run a private network called the Entourage. It's for high achievers who want to become the greatest seducers on the planet in the fastest possible time. So you'll be connecting with me and my global network of radically ambitious Renaissance warriors. You get coached by me personally, and it's just a fun time as well, like being able to connect with radically ambitious, like-minded people. So yeah, links for all the stuff is below. You can apply to become a member of the Entourage, connect with me, come conquer the world with me, connect with the rest of us in our network, in our group. That'll be fun. We can actually get on the FaceTime to each other, and then we don't just have to communicate via a live stream. It's always funny actually when I make these live streams. I'm always like, I wonder who's actually watching these. But the approach that I'm taking with these live streams is I'm really learning out loud. I'm talking to myself in a way. You know what I mean? I'm just putting thoughts out there into the ether. And yeah, I'm just creating for God. I'm creating for an audience of one. I just fucking hope you find this stuff useful. Do you know what today is as well? Like today marks 1 month since we started doing the daily live streams. Like, a month, bro. Like we've only got 11 more to go. Yeah, no, I set the intention when I was living in Cyprus, rather sporadically actually. I felt as though God was just passing through me in that moment where he's like, right, you prick, you're gonna commit to this daily discipline of daily live streams. So yeah, today marked a month of doing these daily live streams, which is fucking cool, bro. I love it. So yeah, 1 month down, 11 more months to go. Hopefully you're enjoying listening to my melodic, mellifluous voice, whether you're at the gym, on your commute to work, or maybe in between approaches, you're listening to Kristian serenade you. But yeah, I've got a really juicy topic for tomorrow's live stream, so I think that's going to be a big one. So yeah, I'll catch you all again tomorrow. All these live streams are available on the Kristian Casanova podcast as well. So wherever you get your podcast, if you just type in Kristian Casanova, you'll be able to listen to these live streams wherever you get your podcast, which I think is quite cool as well. So it just means more Kristian for your day. But yeah, if you want to get all the free courses, links are below. If you want to apply to join the Entourage, link for that is below as well. All right, love yous. I'll speak with you tomorrow. Stay sexy, live legendary. Should I just like sit here really awkwardly? Sometimes, man, I make myself laugh. Anyway, come on, you little prick. When Kristian tries to turn off the screen.